The name of the consulting firm is Kreston Pedabo, and I think it's currently out between August and October, right? And that's super fast. It's not like the usual bank or Deloitte process, right? Pedabo had about 5,000 applications. Guess how many was picked? 3 and 5. 35 people waited. And the structure of the assessment test is GMAT, just structure, 60 questions for 45 minutes. Now, that was virtual. There was another assessment, and this time it was physical. Now, you had to write the test for 20 minutes. 20 minutes, I think 20 questions, and the pass mark was 11. And I always say that, see, talk with confidence, be authentic. As much as you want to impress them, don't go out of your way to be desperate, to sound desperate, right? And the next one is the partners interview for Kreston Pedabo. Like I said, it's also a consulting firm, so see, it's the whole thing. And then after the partners interview, if you pass that, you're going to be admitted into the graduate training school for Pedabo. It was just, I think, 2 days. Partner interview was 22nd, then the admission mail came as at 24th. Then the school started as at October 3rd. It was just 6 weeks. And then the final offer came January. Maybe that was January this year, right? 2nd or 3rd or 4th of January, right? So yes, that's the full. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all of you watching. I know it's been a while we've done videos, and it's so that we can get back to the drawing board and get much more better videos for you guys. And yes, just stay tuned to the channel. A lot of contents are actually cooking, like we say in the Nigerian lingua, right? And I'm really hoping that it's going to help much more people land better jobs and start better careers this year and whenever you're ready to go. Also, thank everyone that has been sending me messages about how they've gotten into Stanbics. Some are almost getting into KPMG, some has gotten into KPMG, and all other different places like that. I'm sure my ex DM must have had 1 or 2 or 3 messages, right? So I really appreciate the messages. They are the reasons why we put out some of these videos and try to as much get updated information for you guys. Thank you very much. And for those of you texting me about X account, currently I'm not active on X, but soon enough, I'll try to be back. But yeah, thank you. And so today we'll be discussing about another consulting firm, right? The name of the consulting firm is Kreston Pedabo, and it's currently out. When I mean currently out, I think it's out. People have probably applied and they've started 1 or 2 stages. So this is me just wanting to help those that have gotten into the system or into the pipeline to say, hey, this is what you need. And of course, I had to reach out to someone who just got into Pedabo, Kreston Pedabo, to say that, see, what were the questions? How was the process like, right? And so I'll just start like this, at least all of the different processes, the timeline, because I know that people get anxious, right? So I want to help you deal with the anxiety. So the timeline, as at, I think that should be last year, was about between August and October, right? And that's super fast. It's not like the usual bank or Deloitte process, right? It is what it is. So I mean, I think you wouldn't be too anxious about this. So I think from 6th of August down to the 22nd of October, then down to the 24th. I think that's pretty much all it takes, right? So let's go into the details. Now, when asked about CV, it's not really so much. It's not really a big deal, right? And the person I spoke to mentioned that you don't have to study accounting, and we've always established this, that you don't have to study accounting, you don't have to do banking and finance or all of those number-based courses, right? You just have to have this genuine reason as to why you should be considered, right? You have about, in fact, the person mentioned that Pedabo had about 5,000 applications. Guess how many was picked? 3 and 5. 35 people were picked. So it means that it's very competitive, right? And so if you studied engineering, it's not a problem. You studied whatever, it's not a problem. You just have to say, see, I've started this, I've started that. For if you've started ICANN, it's good. If you started all this ACCA or whatever, it's very good, and it gives you that edge, right? The second thing is, yeah, she mentioned that the period is for about 2 months, of which I'll be breaking each of them down with specific dates, right? Now, after you've sent in the CV, the first thing on a general note is an assessment, right? And she sent the application about 6th of August. I'll be using he or she, right? Because I kind of met with a number of different people. 6th of August, and she wrote assessment 20th of September. Yeah, both of them, I think at the time when I spoke with, they wrote assessment about the 20th of September, right? And that's about maybe a month or a month and 2 weeks. Yes. So that's how much they waited. And the structure of the assessment test is GMAT, that structure, 60 questions for 45 minutes. Now, that was virtual. And I think as a result of the fact that it was virtual, people passed. People passed, right? And I think the number of people they expected to pass was not as much as they got. So then there was another assessment, and this time it was physical. Now, you had to write the test for 20 minutes. 20 minutes, I think 20 questions, and the pass mark was 11. So I think as you're writing, you're seeing the result and you're going back home. You just know that, hey, bro, nah, I'll just focus on the next job. But if your pass mark was good, then you know that, okay, there is hope to continuing the process, right? So it just says that, see, maybe the virtual, they believed people used assisted technology, right? It still boils down to the fact that you should know your onions, practice for this test. GMAT, SHL, please, as much as you can practice. I know I said I'm not so active on X currently, but please, the threads I've written, they are still very much important. Go there. I think I've dropped resources on practicing for GMAT, practicing for SHL, all of these things. Please try to check it. And I think, and the next thing, even during the physical assessment that they went to do, was that you're going to do document verification, right? You're going to do document verification. The first assessment was 20th of September. The second one that they were invited for physically was on the 30th of September. And it was at the time you were also going to do the document verification. So 6th of August, application was sent. 20th of September, the first assessment was written. 30th of September, the second assessment, which was physical, and the document verification took place. The document verification wouldn't be so much different from other document verifications you've done. The basic things that are needed. If NYSC is a major thing, you need to have that. I think your date of your birthday, all of these other documents. I think in the Deloitte video, we detailed each of these documents, right? Now, if you pass the physical one, then you're going to be invited for the interview, right? The manager's interview is virtual. Yeah, the manager's interview is virtual. And that was about that was on the 10th of October. Yes. And it was virtual. And see, we've always discussed, I've written different threads on different kinds of interviews that you're going to face, but I think I'll detail each of those questions. In fact, it was one of the things that we planned for, to detail, hey, this is cultural interview. These are the kinds of interview. These are the kinds of, if you see this kind of person, then it's this kind of interview. And if it is this kind of interview, these are the necessary strategies that you can use, right, to ace them. There is cultural, there's competency based, there are all sorts, there's technical, and there are all sorts. So the manager's interview is usually going to be a mix of cultural and competency based, because hey, they want to see how do you fit into our unit, and the manager that's going to interview you will be someone from your intended unit. And don't forget, one of the things some of the things that they want to see is, can this person fit into the unit? Will this person do the required level of work? Is this person ready to learn? Like I've always said, graduate trainees, nobody puts pressure on you guys. No. In fact, I mean, for the first 6 months, 9 months, we're expecting that you're learning the ways of the organization. You're learning how documentation is going to take place. You're learning how things are done. You're learning how to blend within the firm. So there is not much. And that's how they are going to score you. They'll score you based on those things. And then, can we meet you? What's your answer to can we meet you? Who are you? What did you study? If you studied engineering, then I expect you to talk about, if you're going for audit or tax, I expect you to talk about what you've been doing to get into audit. or tax, right? Okay, started learning icon, started doing this, started doing that, my usage of Excel, this, things that will put you on the advantageous front, right? And for those, I mean, maybe this would be good for folks in maybe auditor tax. There's this stuff about tax reform. What do you know about it? Tell us one or two things about it, right? Also, there are behavioral competence-based questions. And the "Can we meet you" is a cultural question. But if you're being asked, if your manager is not being nice to you, how do you take that? That's competency-based. I want to see how you think. I want to see how you judge situations. I want to see how you judge characters. That's competency-based, right? What do you think about a teammate that doesn't always show up? Right? That's competency-based. Can we meet you? Cultural. What do you know about the organization? Cultural. You get. So manager's interview is a mix of that, and you would have that. It's virtual, and it's about just 30 minutes. Just 30 minutes. And I always say that, talk with confidence, be authentic. As much as you want to impress them, don't go out of your way to be desperate, to sound desperate, right? So yeah, and I think the last question about this is, hey, why did you even choose this unit? Either it's audit, either it's tax, right? Why did you choose this unit, right? And you have to be able to say something reasonable. I mean, this is 5,000 applications, right? So yeah. And the next one is the partners interview for Kreston Pedabo. Like I said, it's also a consulting firm. So in consulting, you hear the old partner thing and all of that, right? And partner is the apex level, right? It's physical. And I've always said one thing when it comes to apex interview, executive level interviews: confidence, know what you're saying, and see what is on your CV, be able to defend it. I beg you. They are very experienced. They've seen a number of things in the industry. And if you're lying to them, it just doesn't suit you well, right? Because there's a high level of probability that the person is going to know, right? Because they will judge you based on experience, right? You get what I'm saying? The interview with the manager again is 10th of October, and the partners interview came 22nd of October, and it was physical. So be punctual, don't waste a partner's time, be confident, and be calm. Most of the time we think interview is only about what we say. It's about demeanor, it's about communication, it's about the high contact, it's about the courage, right? And they don't come with template. What do you like doing? And then conversations can start from that, right? What do you want to be? Conversations can start from that. Why did you choose Pedabo? Why not this other firm? Conversations can start from that, right? So yeah, that's it with the whole thing. And then after the partners interview, if you pass that, you're going to be admitted into the graduate training school for Pedabo. It was just, I think, 2 days. Partner interview was 22nd, then the admission mail came as at 24th. Then the school started as at October 3rd. It was just 6 weeks. And then the final offer came January. I think maybe that would be January this year, right? 2nd or 3rd or 4th of January, right? So yes, that's the full breakdown for Kreston Pedabo. And I went on to ask about the culture of Kreston Pedabo from those I spoke with. And to be honest, they're very, very things. It says it's flexible to work. It's a place where you'd really learn. You see people who with absolute and great knowledge of whatever they are doing. It's environment that elevates you. At the end, what I would sum what the people I interviewed with, what they said about Kreston Pedabo to is come, learn, and meet great people. So I believe that this should help you if you're in the pipeline of Kreston Pedabo. This should help you plan, it should help you improve, and it should help you know what it takes to get into Kreston Pedabo. So stay tuned for the next episode, and till then, I hope. Oh, one more. If you want to reach out to me, I will drop my email in the description below, and reach out to me based on how the video has helped you. Either you got into this or you got into that. You can use, if you want it to be anonymous, I can also drop a form that will make it anonymous. I just want to record the level of help that this video and this channel has done, and it will continue to do. So thank you very much and have a wonderful day, and I really, really hope that you get into your dream firm. Till we all win. Bye.